Welcome back to Your Health Moment with Dr. Fitness. Most of you already know my mission is to be your trusted wellness advisor. And I like introducing you to the best fitness, health, nutrition professionals and programs that are available. And my goal is to help you to develop into an informed, self-reliant, and motivated fitness enthusiast. The really good thing about it today is I get to introduce you to people like my great guest today, Mr. John Mott Jr. Whoa, what's going on, John? It's really good to see you again, man.
Oh man, hey, I appreciate that intro, and hey, the feeling is mutual. They got a
I'm
lot going,
telling you. Oh my
got a lot
God.
going on, man.
So you have a powerful story. Can you share with the listeners, some of the meat, some of the good, powerful pieces of your story?
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, first and foremost, man, I give it up to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, man, because without Him, I know
Amen.
goodness well this wouldn't be possible. I can't take all the glory by any means. I'm just a vessel, and I'm grateful to be in a position to share my story, pretty much. Um, So as you already know, we shared in the past, which was phenomenal as well, about my encounter with stroke at the age of 25, 12 years previous. And that experience, let me tell you, it was definitely an eye opener, and it was more than I thought at the moment. It was the gravity of it all. I saw myself real time during the process initially, and as time just progressed, other things began to unravel, and my eyes were open even the more. And it was just interesting how that just came about. It came out of nowhere. um, you know just to kind of put it in perspective, I wrote the book as a means to inspire other people and just to give them a idea of the journey of somebody who encountered stroke from a young man perspective.
Mm-hmm. It's so unusual for people, 25 to actually have a stroke. So that alone makes your story pretty unique.
Yeah.
And, just for a moment, take me back to the 10-year-old John. Did you ever imagine you would be doing the things that you were doing today?
Oh no, by no means. At
What do you
10.
want to do when you grew up?
That's interesting because I remember, like, you know how they ask you the question, hey, so when you grow up, what do you want to be? That was like a tough question for me. I'm sitting there like, oh gosh, hope they don't come to me. Because I really didn't know. I mean, I looked at my dad, who's, he's no longer living now, but when he was alive, I was thinking like, my dad worked for the city of Jacksonville collecting garbage. I'm like, I don't want to. That's not attractive enough. I don't want to. But I'm like, I don't want to be on the back of a garbage truck. So I went to my first love, far as skills or talents, which is being a lyricist, rap. I used to listen to Tupac and Biggie Small. I'm like, I guess I'll just be a rapper when I grow up.
Okay, there you go.
You know.
Wow. And when you really think of it, that's actually pretty powerful because, in essence, there are lots of ways that you are living that dream.
Yeah.
I
Actually,
mean,
you're
when you
right.
think
Yeah.
about it, you have a story that's really powerful that you're telling. You're telling through words and inspiring people as you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, so I see that actually. Okay.
You're right. I
Hey.
love that. Yeah. That's good perspective there. Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So now you just got to do your next book to music.
Hmm. Well, that's another book, another day, another dollar, right? I tell you.
Can-
But believe it or not, so the first book is talking about my encounter.
and the
And
name of this book, is this Grace Down Below or When
yes,
Illness Strikes?
absolutely. That's the first book. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you got
Um,
that book.
can you tell us a little bit, for people that haven't read it and don't know your story, are there any highlights that you'd like to share, to bring them in, to let them know that this is going to be a really good read for them and they need to pick it up?
Absolutely. So my motto is, for one of my taglines I use is to be inspired, stay inspired, simply inspire. So if you're looking for a touch of inspiration, wherein somebody have the ability to take a bitter lemon that most people cringe at and make it something sweet and enjoyable and rewarding at the end and throughout the process, you would love to pick this quick read up and embrace it wholeheartedly, because it's going to inspire you if you open up and allow it to, because that's the purpose of the book, is simply to inspire. Because I had no idea I would ever write a book, never even desired to. But when that encounter came about, I was inspired to write the book to give back to the world.
Wow. It's powered. I like that. Mr. Mott's motto, if you get something that's not as tasty, make it tasty.
That's right. That's right.
Make some good out of it.
That's right.
So that's really great. And so that was the first one, and then you co-authored a book.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I certainly can. So the way this happened was after I began the process of working on my own book, I encountered a young lady at the facility I was at that I went for rehab, which is, Brooks Rehabilitation Hospital. Ran into her, total stranger, and we hit it off real good. And before you know it, she just started telling me her life story. I'm like, I don't know this person, but I get this a lot. It's one of my gifts, I suppose.
You're very approachable. Look,
thank you.
I
appreciate it. Yeah, so she just opened up like a book, figuratively speaking, and she was like, God put you in my life. You're the person God would have for me to connect with in order to get my book going. Because I sat it on the shelf and so on and so forth. And I'm like, interesting. And I said, I just felt led. I said, you know what, I'm going to help you. So the end result is we went through the whole process. I did multiple interviews, this, that, and the other. And I said, well, you can either, pay me, which I know financially you're not able to. So I'm just still putting it out there. That's going to cost you a whole lot because it's expensive getting a ghostwriter. I said, or here's what I'm willing to do for you. This is me paying it forward. I said, I can fork out most of the money for the whole project, and you just give what you can, and we be co-authors. You see what I'm saying? So I did all the work for her. I did the editing, the proofreading, the whole shebang.
Wow.
And the name of the book is A Blessing to Be Chosen. She came up with that title, which is just beautiful.
It's an
I love
amazing
that title.
Yeah.
So I went through the whole process as if it was my own. Help with the front cover, back cover, the chapter division, the titles.
Wow.
And, this, that, and the other. And before you know it, we had a conversation afterwards, and she read through it and she was in tears. She couldn't believe it. She was like, it sounds just like me, just the way I wanted it to sound. So I was like, wow,
what a gift to give her.
Yeah.
So, John, you've also are a founding partner in Striver2Thriver.
Yes.
Now, this is a new business venture that, what you say, it bridges the gap between consumers and small businesses. Does it have anything to do with, like publishing, like you're helping people publish it like you did with Blessing to Be Chosen? Or is it totally a different path?
It's twofold, to be honest with you. It's more like an indirect, because I have great publishing companies that's in my network. And God has blessed me with a whole lot of business professionals that I know personally and I trust, and they're likable. So their work ethics and characters align with mine. So I want people to be treated with the utmost respect and top quality services rendered to them. So these people in my network, or we're going to have, or shall I say, the database per se, we're going to vet them to make sure that it's going to be just that quality. So we're bridging that gap by connecting our amazing consumers that have a need, even if they are small business, B2B and B2C as well, business to consumer, business to business, for those who don't know what that means. So we're bridging that gap because oftentimes, like me, I had an experience, multiple, wherein I had a need and I got scammed, be it a website or whatever it is. The person sounded the part, they played the part in their own right. They were pretty convincing, and then next thing you know, I forked out the money, and then they ghosted me. I'm like,
wow,
well, that's unacceptable. That's very unprofessional. And that's unethical. I said, I don't want people to experience that same thing. So if I can help bridge that gap alone, it'll be well worth it. But not only that, reputation and credibility and visibility does matter. So we're bridging the gap in those particular ways. And sometimes it's just a matter of convenience. I have resources, I may have the money, but I just don't have the time to do the things that I know I need to get done. So we're helping bridge the gap by connecting them with professionals in our network to make the connection on their behalf, even if we have to step in, just like the white glove service model, as a concierge, step in and do the heavy lifting for them if they prefer that, rather than having to do certain things themselves.
That's interesting. So that I'm understanding you, I want to make sure I'm understanding. So it's not quite a referral service, or is it a referral service? You find people that have a need and you match them with people that perform that service?
Yes, I would
Is
say
that's what I'm
referral.
hearing?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. It's bridging the gap by way of, okay, you're in need of a realtor, property and casualty representative, auto insurance. Okay, we
Got you.
have people in our network and we vet each and every one of them. So allow us to step in and say, hey, here's a listing, or here's a select few or top three, or based on your
Oh, that's
demographics
great.
that we're going to connect you to. So that's where the consumer base and the small business sector come together, because we
Mm.
know the small business sector is thriving. We understand it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But even the small business owners have issues like, hey, I paid a vendor to do this and they didn't even deliver on their promise and I'm totally dissatisfied. And so we're going to have a survey implementation where we have questionnaires and we interview them to ensure quality, and we monitor and track and follow up and follow through. It's kind of like, you probably have heard of them. They've been around for 38 plus years, BNI,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
which I'm engaged in that. So it's not a conflict with that. It's more like an enhancer. I'm complementing what they already have, because even in BNI, you have a lot of professionals, a decent portion of them that have the same exact experience. So BNI don't, it's not a magic wand that makes you a great entrepreneur or a great networker. That's something I've been doing almost 2 decades, since 2005. So I always prided myself on making it a mutually beneficial type situation. That's where most people drop the ball. It's one-sided. What's in it for me? Their favorite radio station. Me, I'm like, let's cut all that minutia out and let's make it where everybody win, not just the person who collects the money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I love that. So, and the organization, then you could want someone to repair bikes as well as a caterer, and you could reach out to Striver2Thriver to get that support.
Yep.
Oh, nice. Now, if I wanted to do that, how can I find Striver to Thriver?
I know it's a
I'm looking
tongue twister. Trust me, it took me quite a
Striver to
to
Thriver.
Thriver. There
Okay,
you go. There you go.
there we
Trust me, yo, don't feel left out. I even myself, I have to slow down and say, I'm like, okay, am I saying this
go.
correctly? Now, how am I gonna mess this up, right?
How can I get involved? Like I got definitely, I'm definitely, I could use somebody. So when I'm
Yeah.
needing some support and I want to make sure that I'm getting someone who is credible, how do I find a network to do that?
Well, for starters, you can connect with me, my personal
Okay.
accounts, because we're building the infrastructure now. Like as mentioned, it's brand spanking new, so it's exciting. We have a lot of great things. We're just kind of panning out things and fine tuning to make it as most effective and efficient as possible. So, being that this is brand spanking new, we have yet to get to that place where we can say, "Hey, go to the website," because the website is up and developing. So that's something that we're sorting out even now. And we just don't want to throw anything at anybody, because that would be contradictory. Like, okay, you want to
Oh
be
yeah.
impactful, but yet you
Mm-hmm.
throw a little flimsy website together and expect us to, no, that's not going to go so well. So we're making sure we deliver that quality so people see that we mean business, you know.
Oh,
So,
that's fantastic.
so for now,
Well,
my
King,
personal, yeah,
just seriously, I will be reaching out because that's like right up my alley. I mean, I'm always looking for service people that I can feel I trust, and they'll
yes.
do the right thing for me. So, and I'm sure I'm not alone
Oh
where it
man.
comes to that.
Same here, man.
Yeah,
Even myself, you know.
yeah. But I mean, you got so many cool things going on. Now I'm hearing about the partnership with Sony Pictures.
Oh
Come on,
God.
you want to share a little bit about that?
You got 3 more hours? No, I'm just kidding.
Come on, you got this.
Oh, a little practice, a little practice.
Oh my
Well,
God.
here's the thing. Back to what we just talked about. Normally, when you get an email that associates rather with a humongous company such as Sony Pictures, the first thing to come to mind is what? Yeah, right. Or this got to be a scam. There's no way. You go looking at the email. Okay, what's the email? Okay, let me look at that. Okay, let me look at the contact information. Let me call these people and see how if I'm gonna get a robot. So I went through all those different dynamics. I'm like, there's no way Sony Pictures is reaching out to me. And of course, what I like about it is that even though I was very, very skeptical, certain things they had in place that gave me some kind of comfort. Like they gave me a breakdown on what they were trying to accomplish, and they offered me. They didn't demand it. There was more so of if you kind of remind me of Mission Impossible. If you're willing to accept this, then this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. So it was one of those. This is what we would do. We would evaluate. Buy the copyrights and blah 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 and yada yada yada. So they kind of walked me through what the expectations were if I was to accept it. So I'm like, okay, I'm skeptical, but I'm gonna go ahead and entertain that curiosity. So I did that, and I spoke to a gentleman, and he was referring me to the person who sent the email that she was in the contact person, and this, that, and the other. And I said, okay, so if this is Sony, tell me this, tell me that. I got so personal with the guy. The guy was getting tired of me. I could tell he was frustrated. Like, okay, Mr. Mott, this is the real deal. This is Sony Pictures. My name is such and such and such. You can, yada yada yada. I said, hey, I said, okay, so if you're Sony, I said, I got your name and everything. I said, do you have a LinkedIn account? Do you have a Facebook account?
Good for you.
Do you like a
Yo, you
personal?
can never be too
I mean,
cautious.
and it was so funny. His answer, he was respectful, but he stood his ground, and I can appreciate that. And he was right. Just like anybody else, if somebody is who they say they are and they have nothing to hide, at the same time, it's like, okay, I could, but I don't have to. Certain things I don't have to share. I just want you to know I could, but I don't have to. But then I got my publishing company reached out to me, and I'm like, okay, you never be too sure. Yeah, let me ask her. So she reached out to me, and I brought it up. I said, yeah, so and so and so reached out to me, and she was like, well, did they do X, Y, Z? I'm thinking to myself, yeah, they did that. She said, well, did they have this, that, and the other? Did they give you the expectations? Did they say they would have to buy the copyrights in order to make the movie? I'm like, yeah. Cinematic trailer, yeah. Then I had the cinematic trailer for the book, which is available. Um, I had one of my referral partners at the time. I had a conversation with her. I said, "Well, I'm still kind of skeptical." I said, "So I never heard of a cinematic trailer. I don't know what it entails and the purpose of it." I said, "Do you all do cinematic trailers at your company?" She was like, "Absolutely." So I know what numbers they gave me at Sony. The partnership they have with that component of what they do, which is in house. They gave me a number, and they said, prime example, they said, let's just say 10,000, right? So I reached
Hmm.
out to my referral partner, and I said, so if you were to do that for me, how much would you charge me? What's the going rate for that? Because I just want to make sure for legitimacy purposes. She said the exact same number. She said it would be 10,000. I said,
Wow.
okay. Well, that gave me some closure. Like, so this sounds like they know what they're doing. This is just, you know what I mean? So all these thoughts going through your mind, like, okay, would they be willing, if this was a scam, would they be willing to, the investors to willing to fork out $7,000 or $8,000 of the 10,000 if this was a scam? I'm like, that don't make no kind of sense to me. I'm like, well, so that kind of put me at ease in a big way. And then they did the cinematic trailer, and it was very professional. And I'm like, wow, this
Oh,
okay, this seems to be the real deal. So they forked out the 7,000. They created this trailer. I have it available now. I'm able to have it visible. Others, I've sent it on my social media sites. You can see it. It's just amazing. So that's pretty much where we are now.
wow. That's actually pretty awesome.
Yeah, so
Yeah, man.
it'll be done. They gave me a time frame, 5 to 6 months, so September, Octoberish. They'll be complete. Fly me to California. Look at the contract, and that's another thing. The fact that they have legal involved, we know that it's going to be official. It's not a scam because they don't want nothing to do with legal because they avoid legal, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, fly me to California, review everything. I have a say in the matter because it's my material, and you know, just
Man.
I approve everything. It's a done deal, and they actually want to do the same on the second book. So it's amazing.
Oh. Well, who's going to play you in the movie?
That's a good question. Yet to be determined. When I
That's
get
going to be
there,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. I don't know. Somebody put in the air some time ago. They're like, you got to create a movie. I can see your book being a movie. This was years before this. This was way back when after I had the stroke. It was a gentleman from the American Heart and Stroke Association. He was like, man, I can see Chris Rock playing you. I said, oh,
Actually, oh my
I know,
gosh, that
right?
would have Chris Rock would be good. And I
That's
was thinking
funny.
Jamie Foxx.
Oh,
But
guys.
yeah, I could see Chris Rock.
That is too funny. Oh my goodness. Hey, boy, I never thought about Jamie Foxx. He's a great actor. Both of them are awesome, man.
Right? I
But
was like,
they're gonna
yeah, I can
surprise me,
see that.
so it'll be interesting to know who. Yeah, hopefully they got a deep
Oh
voice
yeah.
like me, because it'll be interesting if they don't. Yeah, I'm hoping they
It's
factor that
gonna be
in.
really great. I mean, you've really gone through so much. I mean, you're big where it comes to stroke prevention. Is there anything that you'd like to put out there? Warning signs? Because now we know you could be 25 and have a stroke. What are the warning signs that people should be looking for?
Well, that's a great question. And with that, I did write a song. I'm not sure if you recall. Matter of fact, you played it on the airwaves. If no, you know what? No, you didn't. You didn't have time. That's right.
We
T-Roy
didn't.
didn't have time. I had it, but you just didn't have the time for it. I believe that's what happened.
Wait, do you have it
Um,
now?
I have it. Yes, I'm trying to remember if I have any CDs left. I believe I gave them all away because the book and the CD, I would bless others who experience stroke. I would give them an autographed copy for free. So, you know, but I do have it where you can listen to it digitally. I could easily send you the link for
Oh,
listening
or if
purposes.
you put the link up, then people listening to the show can go right to the link.
Let me see if
You
I
can
could.
put the link on your bio. So everybody, you don't have to put it up now, but put it on the
Okay.
bio
Yeah.
and the show notes. And so
Okay.
everyone listening to the show can go to the show notes and they'll be able to hear the song.
Yeah. So I definitely do that. So I
Oh yeah,
definitely want to,
definitely.
yeah,
That would
definitely
be
want to,
great. So it's
yeah.
John's song on things you should know and be aware of and symptoms where it comes to having a stroke.
Yeah, because it's here's the thing. It's ever just like anything else. Evolution is what it is. As time progresses, things evolve. In some cases, it's for the better. Sometimes it's for the worse. But awareness is critical, and it can help alleviate a lot of that. Prime example in the song I'm talking about. It's factual, by the way. It's not just
Mm-hmm.
theory. It's not as most lyricists they do things to articulate it simply because it rhymes or it sounds good. Um, but